If you've listened to our podcast before, you've heard Dr. Sean Riley talk about the challenges you might run into if you sit at a desk all day long. What about a standing desk? Are there benefits to that option, Dr. Riley?
Yeah, I'm getting this question more and more often, day to day here in the practice. And for those of you, standing desk, you might have heard it referred to as like a sit-stand type desk, but it's actually a desk that you stand up at. I mean, simply put, I've discussed in the past about the challenges with the desk jockey. One of the most common things that I see are complaints related to, someone that sits at a desk all day long, behind a computer, starts to develop that forward kind of flexed posture. They develop kind of ongoing, lasting neck, upper back pain, even some low back pain, because we're not wired to sit at a desk for 8 hours. And that's why I've talked about in the past. It's so very important to, interrupt your sitting, get on a proper stretching regimen or program, maybe focus on stability and, just get up and try to move around as much as you can, because we live in such a forward world these days that from when we get up to sit down at our breakfast table, we're hunched over, we get in our car, we drive to work, sit at our desk for 8 hours, and then rinse and repeat and do the same thing over and over again, and we're not paying. And you develop problems. You start to develop degeneration, maybe a serious disc problem, or chronic neck and upper back pain. So the standing desk is such a very good option, or a sit-stand desk, which is actually kind of a hybrid that could transition from like you could sit or you could stand. But so many companies and corporations these days are being much more sensitive to this, Scott. They're recognizing the value and the importance of healthy employees, not only from missing time with work, but productivity and having a happy employee. When I'm in pain all the time and I just know that I have to sit at my desk, I'm probably not going to be in the best mood, and then it might slow down my production, and no one wants to come around me. So these companies are recognizing the importance and value of these sitting to stand desks or these sit-stand desks, and they're providing them for a lot of employees out there. And so typically what will happen is an employee, depending on the company, obviously, but you're able to potentially make a request. And then I'm looking at one right now in front of me, a patient of mine that works at a large company here in Tulsa. I've got a letter to provide some clinical documentation, why that patient would, if there's medical necessity for that, I'm able to provide some clinical documentation to their HR department, and then she should get approved for the desk. But it's just so good because it allows you to sit, stand, move around. It keeps you a little more active throughout the day. Ultimately, you're going to feel better. Hopefully, you're not going to have those ongoing complaints of neck, mid, and low back pain, and make you a little bit more of a happy employee as well.
So the idea isn't to stand for 8 hours straight. It's just really to provide some variety.
Exactly. So I haven't really researched all the different kinds of desks out there. I know that there are desks that just pretty much stand, and then the one that I think a lot of patients are going to is the sit-stand. A lot of patients will utilize like a therapy ball or an exercise ball, Scott. I'm sure you've seen those in rehab clinics or in your gym. And they like to sit on those balls because it kind of makes them stay somewhat active through their core or trunk, because if you're not, you're going to fall off. Those are a little bit more comfortable too. So I've had patients that have said, hey, what do you think about me sitting? I think it's great. But that I think that sit to stand gives the patient or the employee that option. Okay, I'm going to maybe sit for 30 minutes, then I'm going to get up and kind of change my position. They feel so much better throughout the day. Obviously, we don't want patients on their feet for 8 hours a day either. We're just looking for some variation and to change up their positions throughout the day. Ultimately, it's like I said, it keeps them out of the doctor's office, chiropractor, physical therapist's office, and it makes them feel much, much better.
Dr. Riley and his team at Tulsa Spine and Rehab can deliver the treatment and care you need to address the specific ache or pain bothering you. All you have to do is give them a call, 918-743-3737.